Hey guys, it's Katie, and I'm here today to play a little matchmaking game. Today is Valentine's Day, as you guys know, and normally I'm a little bit of a cynic, but today I'm going to be playing the love triangle game. So, for those of you who aren't familiar with how this game works, it's another one of those put names in a box or cup thing and then draw it out kind of a situation. Only instead of two names, you pick three names. So the way it works is you pick out one name and that's your center person for the couple, and then you pick out two more names and then you kind of decide who that person should be with. And you guys voted for this one because I was toying with this between doing this one and another game. And this one is the one that ended up winning by quite a lot, actually. And I'm really excited to do this. Hopefully I think by the end of this, we should have 10 total pairings. So let's just shake my box, make sure they're all mixed up, and let's launch right on in and see where we end up. So the first center of this first pairing is Neville from Harry Potter. And let's see who Neville ends up getting paired up with. So the first option we have is Achilles from the Song of Achilles and also the Iliad. And the second person we have to pick is Eric Biddle, who is from OMG Check Please. Honestly, I think I know who I'd pick for our dear Neville. He would not fit with Achilles very well. Achilles is a demigod and is very arrogant and very just caught up in his own being for the most part. He's caught up in his pride, and Neville's just a sweetheart and would end up getting completely 110% neglected by Achilles, so I don't think that he's a perfect fit for him. Eric Biddle, on the other hand, is a sweet southern boy from Georgia. He bakes pies, and he is just a small pure being, and I just really think that Eric and Neville would really work together because that would just be the cutest couple, I think, ever. So I'm gonna put Eric and Neville together. That's really gonna work. I really ship that, actually. It's really cute. Next pairing. Our first pick is Faramir. So Faramir is at the center of this couple. And let's see who our dear Faramir would be paired up with. Okay. First option is Harry Potter. Okay. And second is Carson. That's an interesting combo. Okay, so we all know who Harry is. Harry's from, our main protagonist from Harry Potter, walking disaster, chosen boy who lived kind of a situation. Also, that would just be a little cringy because Harry is definitely underage. That would just be a really uncomfortable couple. But I mean, then again, so would Carson. But is from the Rainwild Chronicles, which is, the fourth sub-series in the Realm of the Elderling series. And honestly, I think that he is a better fit for Faramir than Harry is. Harry, as I said, is, walking disaster, kind of a, wizard, boy who lived, underage situation. And I just don't think he would work really well with Faramir. Faramir is very kind-hearted and kind of a sad, lonely boy who just wants to be loved, and I don't know if Harry could give him what he needs. Carson, on the other hand, is not only is he a hunter, but he knows how to survive, but he's a very, very kind, caring, beautiful human. And I really think that warrior plus Faramir's background and Carson being the kind, caring human that he is, that they just would really work together. So I'm gonna put Carson and Faramir together. Next, our central character is the Fool. Oh man, I don't know if I'm ready for this one. Okay, the Fool is our central. person for this ship. And the two that I've picked are Ron Weasley and Cedric Diggory. Okay. Why does this keep happening? Okay. So it's an interesting combo. I'm not sure who I'd pick for that. Okay, so we all know who Ron is. Ron is Harry's best friend from the Harry Potter series, and he is kind of the comedic relief. He's very funny, and he's very clumsy and smart in his own way. Grew up in a large family. He's not very well off, and yeah, just an interesting fellow. And then we have Cedric, and Cedric has a lot of societal pressure put on him by his father. He's the kind of the golden boy kind of a character. He's good at Quidditch, and he's smart, he's kind, he's caring, and he's very handsome. And as much as like it hurts to split up Fitz and the Fool, because like that's so hard. I don't know why I did this. Why did I do this to myself? Honestly, I think Cedric would be the better fit for the Fool, and I'll explain in a minute. The reason I'm discarding Ron is the Fool probably would not be down with Ron and his just, I don't know, being. I don't know how to put it any other way than that. I mean, the Fool and Ron would be great friends. Like, I think they could have a really cool friendship. In terms of a romantic relationship, I think I might have to put Cedric with the Fool because of, you know, the mostly the physical attribute aspect, and also just the societal pressure kind of a situation, and just all of the stuff that Cedric's gone through. The Fool tends to kind of gravitate towards people like that, and Cedric has potential of doing really great things. I just, yeah, it works in my head, but it's difficult to explain without explaining more of the Fool's character. Next, in the center, is Hermione. Okay, and then the people that I'm picking, ooh, okay. First name I picked is Aragorn from The Lord of the Rings. And then second, is Morozko from the Winter trilogy. Okay. This is gonna be difficult. These are weird couples. Okay, I'm not sure how I'm feeling about this. Aragorn is the king of Gondor, and he's a tracker, and he's just kind of like this general really awesome badass guy. He also is a lot older than you think he is because the dude had died. But I don't know. Morozko, on the other hand, is he's a Winter King, and he's a spirit from the old religion in Russia. He's, you know, kind of back when they had paganism kind of a situation. Morozko is the king of winter, and he's also death, basically. I'm not sure how I feel about either of them with Hermione. I think I'll probably say Aragorn over Morozko, but at the same time, it's painful. I'm not sure how I feel about either of them. Hermione would probably really enjoy talking to Morozko and being his friend, but I don't know if she'd want to have a romantic relationship with him. I think she'd be more interested in him in terms of like intellectual conversations and just getting to know him overall, but I don't think I'm gonna put her with him for a romantic thing. I think I might pick Aragorn. They would complement each other really well, I think, and they'd have like really, really good intellectual discussions, And Hermione is not afraid to be like independent and fight for what she believes in. And I think Aragorn would probably end up really liking her a lot in some way. I don't know. I'm not sure about this one, but that's the better option, kind of, so we're gonna go with it. All right, our next central character is Fitz. Okay. This is gonna be interesting. So let's see who he's paired with. The two people he's got are either Althea, also from the Realm of the Elderlings series, or Crowley. No. No, I refuse. I refuse to answer this. This is bad. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, okay, so Althea is from the Realm of the Elderlings, also by Robin Hobb, so they're at least in the same world. But then we have Crowley, and Crowley is a demon. He's like kind of a devil's agent kind of a thing from Good Omens. Althea would not be a good match for Fitz. Fitz is too much of a disaster for Althea, and Althea has no time for his shit. Althea would crush him like a little bug, because Fitz is a walking disaster. Althea actually knows what she's doing, but she would literally have no time for him at his BS. So, no to that. Crowley and Fitz would also be a disaster. Like their ship name would be the Disaster Ship. Fitz being the disaster. Yeah. But Crowley has his own problems, but I don't know. It would be interesting seeing them interact together, but like I don't like this at all. It would be bad. It would be a really bad situation. Sure, but I mean, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm just putting that out there. But it's better than Fitz and Althea. So, unfortunately, we're going with it. And I don't know why. It would be... This game is turning out to be way more interesting. Okay, next is Aziraphale from Good Omens. Oh my god, this game is ridiculous today. And the two names we've got are Elise and Brashen. Okay, this one's a little bit easier. So Aziraphale is an angel from Good Omens. He is a book collector. He's very intelligent. He's very witty and smart. And I don't think he'd get along with Brashen too well. Brashen is very much the rugged sailing type fellow. He's very sweet and very kind and kind of self-sacrificing in some ways, but I just don't think that he would work for Aziraphale, so I'm gonna nix that one and say that Aziraphale would definitely 110% be great with Elise. Elise, very much like me, is very scholarly, so she's all about the books thing, so they would have a lot to bond over in terms of their respective collections and their experiences and things. Aziraphale has seen a lot because, he's basically, a mortal. And Elise has also seen a lot. She's been through a lot. She's dealt with, all the dragon-y things, and she's been in an abusive relationship. And I think that her and Aziraphale would just work nicely together, if not just for the scholarly thing, but their personalities also kind of match up. So I'm gonna say that I actually don't mind this one too much. Next, the middle of our triangle for this one is Arwen from The Lord of the Rings. Okay, please pick someone deserving of her. So the first one I've got is Jack Zimmerman from OMG Check Please. And the next person I have is Percy from the Percy Jackson series. Okay, so this is another weird one, but I think I know who I'm going to pick, but let's just go through this. So Jack is from OMG Check Please. He's a hockey player. He's trying so hard to fill the shoes that his dad has kind of put upon him in terms of the stuff that he needs to like live up to and the things that he needs to do. So he's just got a lot of pressure on him and all of these like anxieties and things. And I don't think Arwen would like Jack as a love interest because he'd be not wimpy, but just he wouldn't live up to her standards in a lot of ways. So I'm gonna nix Jack. And weirdly enough, I'm picking Percy from the Percy Jackson series. Despite the fact that Percy is like one of the most endearing idiots ever and is like clueless 95% of the time, he's a good fighter and he is willing to let his friends and the people around him be independent. He might not always approve, but he does ultimately let them. And I think because of that aspect of his personality, that him and Arwen would get along quite well. And so yeah, I kind of sort of support this despite it being, you know, another one of those weird underage ship things, but it's fine. The next central character we have is Arwen from The Lord of the Rings. I'm sensing a weird theme here, okay? Like, what even? So the first person that I picked for her is Annabeth from the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. And then next is Cedric Meldar from the Realm of the Elderlings. So I know who would fit, and I'll tell you about it in a minute. But first, let's nix Cedric. Cedric is from the Rainwild Chronicles portion of the world. Cedric has a lot of growing up to do. He's kind of an underage character. He is a little bit conniving and just very self-centric in some ways. And Arwen would not be a fan, so no. Whereas Annabeth from Percy Jackson would be a much, much better option for Arwen. First of all, Annabeth is Athena's daughter, so she's very wise, which goes well with the, you know, elf situation in the Tolkien world. And Annabeth also is just, they would have a lot of really great intellectual conversations. Annabeth knows how to fight and knows how to, you know, do her own thing. And I don't know, I just think that they would be a very interesting combination because not only does Annabeth have both inner strength and physical strength, Arwen has inner strength, like very, very, very big inner strength. And I don't know, I just think that they would be an interesting combination. So I kind of support that. I think we have two more left. Right, so the next one is the center of this ship situation is Patroclus from the Song of Achilles and the Iliad. And the two people that are vying for his attention are Sherlock from Sherlock Holmes. And are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? The second option is John Watson, also from the Sherlock Holmes world. Hi. John and Sherlock are like one of my main OTPs, and so this is going to be like really difficult to separate them. So I might create an OT3 because I think that would be a really great option and a great situation. But for the sake of the game, I'm going to have to pick someone. So this is difficult because a lot of people compare John Watson to Patroclus because of their medical background and their general personality of being very faithful and very driven and just overall. So John Watson is arguably Patroclus reincarnated, and it's fine. But they would work. But then Sherlock, he has a there are a lot of parallels between Patroclus and Achilles and Sherlock and John. And it's kind of scary how alike they are. But Patroclus would find Sherlock, I think, really, really interesting, especially with his like thought process and his brilliance and whatnot. Like applying that to his medical background would be a really interesting situation. Also, just like they would be able to do things separately without kind of having a clingy situation, but neither of these potential options would be a clingy situation. So, I mean, I'm having a hard time with this one because of 500 reasons. I mean, we'd have basically the same person being in a potential ship situation, or we'd have this interesting combination of Sherlock and Patroclus being together. And I don't know. I'm like 510% certain I want this to be an OT3. How do I want to do this? This is like impossible. I think I'm going to put John and Patroclus together because of their similar personalities. They know that, you know, how to deal with each other. Like John is very, very good at, well, both of them are basically army medics, army doctors, and they're willing to sacrifice their whole being. Okay, forget it. I'm putting Sherlock and Patroclus together. Patroclus would calm Sherlock down and shove some rationality into him when it comes to like putting himself into danger, and Sherlock would definitely be really, really interesting and interested in Patroclus. So yeah, but ultimately I just want to create this as an OT3. So put that on the record, OT3. We're on the last one. And the center of this couple situation is Leftrin from the Realm of the Elderling series. He's also a character from the Rainwild Chronicles. And the two people surrounding him are Vasya from the Winter Night trilogy and Draco from Harry Potter. Okay. I don't like this. I don't like this situation. It's a bad situation. If there was anything, I would actually probably put Vasya and Draco together. That would be an interesting ship. I actually would support that ship. But that's not the option we have here. We have Leftrin as our center. So we got to try and figure out how we want to make this be a thing. Leftrin is the captain of a barge, a river barge called the Tarman. And he, at the beginning of the book, is a little bit of a shady character, and that shadiness could kind of go well with Draco. But at the same time, then we have Vasya. And Vasya and Leftrin could be kind of interesting, but Vasya would also crush him like a little bug. So I'm not sure if I like either, but ultimately I think Draco and Leftrin, as much as that sounds weird, would work because of the both, like they both have like cunning aspects and sly things. Like they're both a little bit slightly shady at times. I don't know. They just kind of sort of might work. Just leave Vasya alone. Like, no. Okay, so that's who we're going with. So yeah, this was fun, as always, and I really, really enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. Let me know down below who your favorite pairing that I ended up picking was, and if you would have picked differently if you were me. Yeah, that's really all I've got for you guys today. So as always, you know the drill. I've got both my social media links down below if you want to talk to me further. I've got a Twitter and a Goodreads. And I will catch you later with another video. Bye!